Butter my prayer. Thank you, Baba God, you do well. Baba, you do well. Baba, you do well. You do well, Baba God, you do well. Baba, you do well. Baba, you do well. You do well, Baba God, you do well. Praise you with the whole of my heart, from January to December. Oh, my Papa God, they guide me. Oh, He don't let me stumble. He don't let me get close to regret life. You turn my stumbling block to stepping stone. You turn my life around from bad to good. Oh, you prepare my table before me, in the very presence of my enemy. My family, they are alive, oh. My friends and loved ones, them, they are alive, oh. Jehovah, you deserve all the glory. Thank you, Baba God, you do well. Baba, you do well. Baba, you do well. From zero to hero, from story to glory, from nobody to somebody. What shall I render unto the Lord for all His benefits? So let me, Baba God, you do well. Baba, you do well. Baba, you do well.
Baba God, you do well.